Hey guys, we are back with some more Wolfsburg Wolves franchise mode, and we are starting out with the third period against the LA Kings. They are unfortunately up 3-0. We got quite the mountain to climb here, but we have the talent to do it. Mayer, back to Kuleshov, to Mayer, back over to Kuleshov, Homer, to Mayer, to Homer. Everyone's on their back end. Homer, he was in front with it, but Mayer, back to Homer, Aho in front, tries to pick it off, Poyar, the goaltender. And Couture takes it up for LA. Not Logan Couture, I'm guessing. He has number 3. Dubois with a shot that goes wide. And that Chubarov to Dubois. So Chubarov signed with the LA Kings. That's just great. 44 to Couture. Byram is number 44 for the Kings. And Rodin with the save off a good shot from the point. So second line out there, Niederberger, Weiss, and Point versus Chubarov, Dubois, and Afanasenkov on the faceoff. Face-off won by the Wolfsburg Wolves. Niederberger speeds up the wing. Into the zone, finds Weiss. The trailer, back for Niederberger. Over to Weiss again. Weiss circles back for Niederberger. Back to Kuleshov, who gets it to Weiss. Weiss circling around. Power move. Back to Kuleshov. Kuleshov down low for Weiss. Everyone's on their backhand. Come on. Get a shot off. Kuleshov to Jones. Come on. Point. Kuleshov, they're all on their backhand. No one's on their shooting side. Point, come on, shoot it. You gotta shoot it there, bud. Alright, we could not get a shot up. All those passes and no shot. My goodness. Number 6 for LA. Walks right in, and oh my goodness, Rodin almost let that rebound in, but he covers that before the King on front could get to it. Sebastian Niederberger leads the team in points and 11 goals so far. My goodness. Goddard, Albrecht, and Zanetti out there against Milano, Gensel, and Jackson. Jones has it for Wolfsburg. Finds Zanetti. He has to circle back. Finds Kuleshov. Kuleshov's still out there, but out there for over half the period so far. Zanetti finds Goddard. Goddard, the man who never takes a shot. I don't expect him to take a shot here. I'll be surprised if he does. Albrecht gets a pass from Zanetti. Sends it in front, and Zanetti was right there, but Poyar is able to get to Brodin, I believe that is. And Gensel gets it from his line mate and tries to feed Milano, but they go offside. Goddard, Albrecht, and Zanetti out there against Milano, Gensel, and Jackson once again. And the face-off won by Wolfsburg and Matthias Albrecht. Goddard takes it into the zone. Little dangle to Zanetti. Oh my goodness, Zanetti. If he could have gone to the backhand there, he would have had one. He would have had him beat. But Milano takes it for the LA Kings. Does a little toe drag for Gensel. And Gensel with the shot. Rodin with the better save. First line out there again. Mayer, Aho, and Homer against Milano, Gensel, and Jackson, who have seemingly been out there for quite a while. Face off won by LA. Brodin to Milano. Brodin got crushed, and LA on the power play. I'm guessing, yeah, that's Alex Kuleshov going to the box with the red skate laces. He's going to the box for, what is that? Oh, geez, that's slashing. Figures. All right, Niederberger and Weiss out there on the penalty kill against Chubarov, Dubois, and Afanasenkov. Not good. Here we go. Nice face-off win. Provorov tries to clear it out, but couldn't clear the King's head right there. I think it went off ahead of a King's player, but eventually gets the 200 feet. Afanasenkov to Chubarov, number 62, Afanasenkov with the shot, and oh my goodness, does that go 5-hole in Rodin? I think it did. My goodness, that was not a good look. I'm not even sure if there was I don't think there was a screen, because that, I think, was a 2-on-1, if I'm not mistaken, and number 6 on LA. Vladimir Afanasenkov gets his 12th goal of the season. I can see why he's got that many goals. He's a sniper, it looks like, and yeah, that was not a good defensive effort there by the Wolfsburg Wolves. Provorov got caught, and Afanasenkov makes him pay. He's fellow countryman, I'm guessing anyway. Afanasenkov obviously sounds Russian. So, face off, and we're down 4-0 here. This is not good. Jones to Mayer. Let's see if we can get one. Play for pride here, as the Be a Pro coach would say. Mayer turns around. Mayer with the shot. Aho along the boards in the corner. Taken by Byram. Byram to Chubarov. Chubarov stops at the line, waiting for his teammates, but no one was there, so he had to keep going. And Jones will take it from behind the net, and Mayer gets into the zone. 56 seconds remaining. Can Wolfsburg get a goal? Make it interesting. Well, maybe not interesting, but can they at least stop the shutout? Number 19 for LA, Dubois in the zone, looking at his options. Finds Couture on the point. Couture gets it down low. Aho will take it. Aho for Jones. He moves it up for Maddox Homer. Homer into the zone, does a little toe drag, and the puck warped over there, over to the boards for some reason, and Jones back over to Homer. Homer to, he tried to find the German Niederberger, but he whiffed on it. Dubois in the zone for Couture. Dubois for Jackson with a shot, and Jackson scores too with 15 seconds remaining just to put that final nail in the coffin. My goodness, 5-0 in favor of LA. This was not a good game to go to for the Wolfsburg fans. Okay, so we're back here in the menu. The rest of that game really there was no point in watching it. We were getting smoked, and there was only 15 seconds left. In November, we are currently 7-3-5. We had a couple of wins here. Strung 4 wins together in a row, and now 2 losses in a row. So hopefully we can negate those 2 losses that we had against Vegas and just now against LA, and get back on track against Calgary, New Jersey, Washington. Would like to see a few wins in a row here. And we actually, going back to October, we had 6 wins in a row. So again, that 2-game losing streak isn't a big deal as long as we don't extend it too much longer. So let's go the rest of November and see where we're at. Okay, so for the most part, after that 3-game losing streak against Vegas, LA, and Calgary, we've been pretty solid. Win against New Jersey, overtime loss against Washington, and then a win against Chicago, win against the Canadiens, the Lightning, and then a loss against the Islanders, but then overtime win against the Flyers and a 4-1 win against the Sharks. So we're 13-5-6. Really can't complain. We're in second in our division, tied for first with the Colorado Avalanche, and we appear to be in a pretty good spot. Jorg Aho is our current leading scorer, 19 points in 24 games, so it appears it's mostly our defense, or maybe our depth scoring is what's also helping us. Cam Weiss with 16 points. Yeah, I would imagine it looks like it's our depth scoring that's getting us by. Tyson Jost on the 4th line with 12 points. No power play time either. So he's been hot to start out the year, it looks like. Garrett Goddard with 12 points so far, and of course not many goals. He only has 11 shots. I mean, he's on pace for more shots this year than he was last year. He only had 26 shots last year, so he looks like maybe 40 shots this year. Who knows? Aaron Zanetti with 11 points. Jones with 11. Yeah, that's definitely our depth scoring. JT Miller with 10 on the 4th line as well. No power play time either, so it looks like all 4 of our lines are capable of scoring. Albrecht with 9, Point with 9. Yeah, so I think that tells the story offensively. We haven't had any injuries just yet, so that's good. And as far as shots goes, all the guys you expect: Aho, Homer, Niederberger, Zanetti, Bohinski. I'm surprised Kuleshov doesn't have more, but that's fine. As long as we have guys taking a lot of shots, I really could care less who's taking them. Face-offs. So Jost, 56.8, great acquisition over the offseason. Weiss, 55.4, Aho, 54.9, and then Albrecht is the only one who's really struggling. So 3 out of our 4 centers doing very well on face-offs. Hits, 45 for Goddard. So Goddard being a bit of a physical presence this year. I don't know how much of a physical presence he was last year. Yeah, not much. He only had 58 hits last year, and we're only 24 games in. He already has 45, so he is already proving to be more useful than just a playmaker, which obviously is very good. Tyson Jost, 41 hits. Kondratek, 41. Aho, 38. Jones, 35. Lindholm, 34. Same for Zanetti and Homer. 33 for Provorov. 30 for Weiss. All these guys really are capable physically. Even Niederberger, almost a hit per game. So we have plenty of players who are physical forces. Only Albrecht and Bohinski and Point are the only ones who don't really hit on a consistent basis. Everybody else is capable of it. So that's good to know. Blocks, who leads forwards? That'd be, of course, the takeaway master, Top Mayer. And speaking of takeaways, let's see takeaways to giveaways. Cam Weiss, 37-11, 35-17 for Mayer. Aho and Zanetti doing very well. Jones doing very well for a defenseman. Goddard, Niederberger, Homer, Jost, Miller. They're all doing all right. Bohinski's doing great for a defenseman, offensive defenseman specifically. 9 points so far. Can't complain from him. Stahlberg's been doing great. 11-5. Albrecht, he's been good. Lindholm's been good. Provorov could be doing better. So Provorov's the only one I really have a problem with so far. Point, he could be doing a little bit better, but he's almost even. Kuleshov, 6-19. He's getting offense. I'm not going to complain too much about that. Kondratek, he's been a bit rough. So obviously the defensemen, they're almost always going to have trouble with giveaways. But for the most part, everyone's been pretty solid. Fights, 3 for Stahlberg, 2 for Weiss, 1 for Jones, Miller, and Aho. And goaltenders, 913 save percentage for Rodin, so he slowed down a little bit in that month. But the good news is that Louis Klime, or Klime, however you pronounce it, got going there. 911 save percentage. He was at like an 870 something before. And the reason we picked him up is because he had that 947 save percentage. So it looks like he's back on track to getting towards that mark again. I don't think he'll reach it this season just because of the slow start that he had, but still, he's looking much, much better as of recent. Let's check the team stats, and our goals for per game is at 3 even, so I can't complain about that. Goals against per game, 2.42. There it is. Our defense at work. Power play could be much better, 17%. We'll work on that. Penalty kill is just fine. We're first in our division, 83.6. Can't complain too much about that, but we will take a look at the power play for sure. Alright, so I'm going to take Lindholm off the power play because Lindholm does not have any power play points yet. And I'm going to switch him with Matthias Albrecht because I feel like he'll be able to do something on the power play. He's that playmaker, got 92 offensive awareness, great puck skills. I feel like he'll benefit from being on the power play, but we're not going to have him on the point and on the second unit. We're going to switch him actually with Maddox Homer because that first power play unit it does not like to work together for whatever reason. Mayer has like 1 point, I think. Jones has no points as well. So actually, I'm going to switch Jones and Bohinski. So we'll have Kuleshov and Bohinski together with Mayer, Aho, and Albrecht, and there'll be Niederberger, Point, Zanetti, and Homer with Jones. And we'll reflect that right here as well. And I may as well... I'll leave Lindholm here on the format power play just because I want Homer with Point. We're going to see what those changes do. And obviously, we were winning games, but we're going to see if we could win even more games. Because we obviously didn't change much other than the power play, which was already struggling. So we'll see what happens in this next month. So here's our first injury of the year, but it's not even for the NHL. It's the AHL. Landon Conacher injured with an injured shoulder till December 10th. We'll just replace player, and then we'll put him back in when he comes back. There's our first NHL injury. Bedrick Kondratek injured with an injured groin till December 14th. That'll just put Staples in there, so we're just going to auto-replace player, and then we'll put Kondratek back in when he is healthy. And Conacher is back, so we'll put him in the AHL lineup. And Bedrick Kondratek is also back in favor of Carl Staples. He was a -1. He didn't really do much offensively. Took 4 penalty minutes, so we'll get Kondratek back in. After December, we are 21-9-6. This is the time of year where this team usually goes on automatic. And we are in first in the Central Division. And we're tied for first in the Western Conference. And we are tied for second, it looks like, in the entire NHL. Let's check out the player stats. Aho with 26 points. Niederberger 21, Goddard 21, Homer 20, Weiss 20, Mayer 20. Yeah, this team is built off depth scoring. Kuleshov 19, 18 for Albrecht, 17 for Joe, 17 for Jones, 16 for Zanetti, 15 for Bohinski, 13 for Miller, 11 for Point, so Point's been a little bit underwhelming. Lindholm with 10, Provorov with 10, Stahlberg with 10. But for the most part, obviously we have the depth scoring, so I'm not too concerned about guys like Point at the moment, as long as we keep winning. Shots, all these guys over 100, Zanetti, Niederberger, Aho, and Homer. And I just want to check face-offs because I'm mainly concerned about Albrecht. 48.8, so he's getting better. Albrecht's getting better at the faceoffs, which is obviously huge for him if he wants to stay as a center. And we're not going to check the takeaways to giveaways because we all know that the majority of our guys are pretty solid defensively. 9-12 for Odin and a 9-22 for Lewis Climby. So he has definitely improved as the season has gone on. He's earned his starts, his pay for sure. So yeah, really nothing to complain about. I do want to check out the team stats just to see how the power play has been doing. But other than that, we should be good to continue. So goals for per game of 2.89. We've actually dropped down a little bit, but that's fine as long as our goals against per game is okay, which it is. It's very good, actually. 2.39. Power play is at a 16.7, so it's actually gotten worse since we made those changes. Penalty kill has gotten much better, 85.7, so our penalty kill not to be touched, but the power play still leaves a little bit to be desired, and I would like to figure that out before the playoffs starts. And obviously, it's pretty clear at this point that this team's a playoff team. We just have to find the right combinations for the power play because the special teams in the postseason are going to be key. I'm going to move Niederberger to the right wing, and Zanetti can be on the left, so they're both on their passing sides. And then I'll switch Homer with Jones. I'll just see if switching sides does something. Bohinski switch with Kuleshov. And actually, I'm going to put Albrecht down here instead of Zanetti. It'll be Albrecht point and Niederberger, Aho Mayer, Zanetti, Bohinski, Kuleshov. That looks good. We'll try this. If this doesn't work, then I don't know. We're just going to have to keep looking for the right combination until we get it. So I was just looking in the draft screen, the draft class, and there's a franchise goaltender available in the third round. He is ranked 83. So we might want to think about picking that guy up. There's also Boris Yakupov, a medium elite playmaker who obviously not really NHL ready, but he's a medium elite going late, so we definitely want to keep an eye on him, make sure we pick him up. And other than that, really not much in terms of medium elites, so we'll continue on with the simulation. Ariel DeMarchi injured with a sore shoulder, so that's unfortunate for him. AHL fourth liner, so we'll just replace him. Ooh, Aaron Zanetti, injured with a mild concussion until January 27th. Luckily, I think that's only about a week away. So we'll just... who's that going to put in? That's going to put in Sean Beck in the third line right wing and the power play. Yeah, we'll just replace him. We'll see what Sean Beck can do. And Aaron Zanetti is back, so we'll get him back in the lineup. Let's see what Sean Beck did in his couple of games there. Well, one game. He had one goal, his first career goal. And +1. Let's see what he did defensively in that game. 4 shots as well. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good with Sean back there. So maybe he replaces Stahlberg next year if we have to end up trading him, which we might have to. Tyson Jost maybe. I don't know. JT Miller's getting up there in age as well, so he might replace JT Miller. There's a lot of options there. And, actually, one guy I do want to check on, Alvin Hensick. He's a depth forward. 79 overall. I do want to give him the chance eventually. I'm just not sure when it's going to come, and I hope that it's next year, because if it's not going to be the next year, then it's probably not going to happen for Alvin Hensick, which I really want it to happen for him. I want to give him his best shot, but we are going to have to take Sean Beck out of there. We're going to get Aaron Zanetti, the more experienced guy, back in, because he's obviously a pretty important part of the team, even though he's on the third line. You know, we still rely on him to get some pretty clutch goals, especially in the playoffs. So let's continue the simulation. After January now, we are 31, 11, and 7. Pretty clear this team's a playoff team. We all knew this, but the issue for us comes actually in the playoffs. Yeah, we're in the playoffs, there's no doubt. So the main thing that I'm going to check here is the team stats, just to see how the power play is doing, because that's the main thing that we really have to keep an eye on, because we obviously want to find the right combinations before the postseason. So our goals against per game keeps going down, 2.29 now. Our defense is studly. So our power play has gotten a little bit better, 19.6. That was at what was it before, 17? So I believe it's starting to pick it up. It had 11 power play goals, I believe, last we checked. So right now it's 21. 10 power play goals in the past month. I'll take it. I will definitely take it. Calle Rodin with a 919 save percentage, Climby with a 924. We're fine. We really don't need to stop at all in this simulation. We could just probably go straight to the end of the regular season because, as we all know, this team's very good in the regular season. And yeah, there's no one who I want to trade when it comes to contracts that are expiring or anything. We can trade everyone who would be a trade candidate I believe has a contract longer than 1 year, or we're just going to be releasing due to age, such as maybe JT Miller. It'll be fine. We'll have enough. And even if we don't have enough money going into the offseason, we could always use the draft to trade, and we'll be fine. I'm pretty confident in our financial situation right now. And then we have guys like Alvin Hensick and Sean Beck coming up as far as forwards go. And then defensively, you have Matt Ho, who is in the CHL right now, who looks to potentially make his NHL debut next year, depending on how he grows there. So let's just honestly, we should be good to go past the trade deadline. And we're at the trade deadline, 39, 15, and 8. And our leading scorer is Todd Mayer with 42 points in 62 games. So it's pretty clear to see where we've had our success, and that's through defense and depth scoring. Mayer with 42, Niederberger 41, 39 for Homer, 38 for Albrecht and Aho, 37 for Weiss, 35 for Goddard, 34 for Zanetti, 34 Kuleshov, 34 Jones, 26 for Bohinski, 24 for Point, 21 for Jost, 16 for Miller, 15 for Lindholm, 14 for Stahlberg, 12 for Provorov, 9 for Kondratek, 1 for Beck, and nothing for Staples. Face-off percentage, I want to see Albrecht, so Albrecht got back down there to a 47.5. That's a bit unfortunate, but all the rest of our centers, Jost, Weiss, and Aho, they're doing just fine, so I really can't complain too much. Hits, I mean, yeah, the majority of our roster likes to hit a lot, and takeaways to giveaways, I mean, yeah, the takeaway master, Tom Mayer, 104 to 42. That's how he got his nickname, obviously. 95 to 39 for Cam Weiss. Everyone's just doing pretty well here, other than maybe Kuleshov, who is getting offense, and Bohinski as well. So there's really not much of a reason to worry defensively. I mean, we have one of the best goals against average in the league, and Rodin with a 919, Climby with a 928. Everyone's about where we expected them to be. Let's just check the team stats because I want to see the power play. Once again, goals for per game has gone up a bit. We're at a 2.94 now. Goals against per game has gone up a bit as well, but it's still very, very good. 2.35. Power play, 19.4, so we're still relatively at the bottom of our division, but that's because every other team is basically 20% or higher, so it's been better as of recent, but, you know, do we really mess with it again? I don't know how many other combinations we have for the power play, to be honest, though, so I think we'll just leave it as is for right now, especially since we're winning games, and then the penalty kill has just been phenomenal all year long, 85.4, and we look to have a playoff spot all locked up. We have one game in hand of basically every team behind us that's competing for a playoff spot, and we are 11 points in front of the Chicago Blackhawks, who are in second. We are first in the West, and we're second in the entire NHL, so there's really no reason to worry. Let's just go to the end of the season here, and I'll see you guys in 1 second. Ooh, that's a big one. The takeaway master, Todd Mayer, has been injured with a mild concussion until April 17th. That'll put Sean Beck on the first line. There's not that many games left. We'll just put Sean Beck on the first line until the playoffs, and we'll figure out what to do after that. So, end of the season now. We went 10-10 in that stretch. 49, 24, and 9 is our final record for the year 11 regular season, and it looks like we clinched our conference. Yes, indeed, we did. 107 points, and we just barely missed out, once again, on the President's Trophy, which, once again, goes to the Buffalo Sabres with 112 points. They are a phenomenal team in this simulation. So, our leading scorer for the season, Todd Mayer with 58 points. And I guess that speaks to our depth because we had a lot of success without too much star scoring. Todd Mayer with 58 points. Aho, 57. Homer, 53. 30-goal season. Niederberger, 53. Weiss 48, Zanetti 45, Albrecht 44, 25 goal season for him in his first full season as a member of the team. Last year he only played 19 games. Did fine as a third line center. Goddard 42 points and 34 shots. So he got a few more shots on the net this year than he did last year. Last year he had, I think, 26, yeah. So he's getting that shot and working on it. And Kuleshov, 40 points, 39, Jones 39. Yeah, this team is so deep when it comes to just depth scoring in general. Bohinski 38, Jost 27, Stahlberg 23, Miller 21, Lindholm 19, Provorov 18, Kondratek 10, Beck with 2, and Staples with nothing. Total shots on the season, Aho, Homer, Zanetti, Niederberger, Bohinski, all with more than 200. Shooting percentage, who led here? That'd be Albrecht with a 16.6 on 151 shots. Power play goals, Homer had the most with 7 power play points. Zanetti had the most with 14. So once again, kind of balanced scoring on the power play, it looks like. Everyone's between, all the normal guys on the power play are between 9 and 14 power play points. Face-off percentage, Aho, Weiss, Jost, all over 50%. Albrecht at a 48.3, so he got a little bit better as the season went on. Hits, we have Aho with 134, Jones with 129, Homer with 124, 119 for Zanetti, and 100 plus for all these guys up here. Weiss, Goddard, Jost, Niederberger, Provorov, Zanetti, all those guys. And takeaways to giveaways, 129 to 48 for takeaway master Todd Mayer. Nothing new there. 124 to 55 for Cam Weiss. 55 to 36 for Zanetti. Very good for Goddard as well. 50 to 36. 47 to 42 for Albrecht. 46 to 48 for Homer. 40 to 43 for Aho. 40 to 43 as well for Niederberger. 39 to 62 for Jones. Miller with 35 to 41. 35 to 34 for Point. 33 to 42 for Jost. He could have been a lot better. 32 to 30 for Stahlberg. 28 to 73 for Provorov. 24 to 45 for Lindholm. 24 to 78 for Kondratek. 24 to 65 for Bohinski. 11 to 59 for Kuleshov. 2 to 2 for Beck. And 1 to 2 for Staples. And fights, of course, Stahlberg is going to be up there with 10. And Weiss with 5, actually. And then Jones, Miller, and Aho all with 1. Goaltenders, Rodin with a .911 save percentage and Climby with a .920 in 22 games. So he got back up there throughout the season and stayed consistent. And then Rodin fluctuated between a .910 and a .920. So he was pretty good as well. But the time where Kalle Rodin really turns it on is during the playoffs, when he had a .933 last year in 3 games and a .923 the year before in 15. So I'm expecting nothing less than a championship caliber performance out of Kalle Rodin. Now let's check the team stats, and we'll see where we're at for our final season rankings. So we're at a 2.98 for goals for per game, third in our division, very close to first. Goals against per game got up there as the season went along. It looks like 2.59. We're still first in our division, but as of recently, that's not as good as it was. We were at one point at a 2.2, I believe. Power play, okay. Power play, thank goodness, got much, much better. We're leaving the power play the way it is. We're at a 22.5, and that's major progress over where we were before. Penalty kill stayed consistent all year, 84%. No problems there. All that is left to do at this point, I believe, is check the playoff tree, but the playoff tree is not available because we haven't officially gone into the postseason. So here we go. Now the NHL season is complete. Let's see who we have, and it will be the Minnesota Wild. In the East, you have the Sabres versus the Senators, the Habs versus the Panthers, the Capitals versus the Bruins, and the Devils versus the Blue Jackets. And in the West, you have the Oilers versus the Ducks, the Canucks versus the Sharks, the Blackhawks versus the Predators, and your Wolfsburg Wolves versus the Wild. So let's check out the lines of the Minnesota Wild real quick, and then we'll end things off. And if it's anything like the lines of the Minnesota Wild who we've seen before, they're going to be a pretty tough matchup. But these are, remember, the Jack Hughes-less Minnesota Wild. So the first line, Marcus Kvasha, Nick Suzuki, and Silas Bird. Second line, Ernesto Swanson, Amir Talinder, and Matthias Markstrom. Third line, Kale Oduya, Ivan Artukin, and Emmanuel Coty. And then the fourth line, Jacob Denisov, Joel Eriksson-Ek, and Nolan Patrick. Defensively, Michael Vukovic. I gotta get used to saying that name. That's a Devils prospect now. Matt Dumba, Dominic Mason, Yves Huberdeau, Jared McIsaac, and Alexander Nabokov on the back end. And in goal, you have Eric Comrie and Tristan Smolinski. Scratched are Luke Kunin, Braden Shen, Zachary Huey, and Kasper Samentival. So there you go. They're the Minnesota Wild. And there's our playoff matchup for year number 11. To start out year number 11, I should say. So I'll leave it off there. And the next one, we will get to the year 11 playoffs against the Minnesota Wild in round number 1. See you guys then.